I can't remember my first day of teaching. I blocked it out. I mean, I remember the morning when I was putting out the name cards for the middle schoolers I was going to meet, and then I remember driving home, overwhelmed, exhausted by the emotions of 60 kids, happy, sad, worried, hungry. 60 kids, 11-year-olds, in one of the poorest towns, in one of the poorest states in the country. Some of them 3 years behind in reading and writing, unable to write a complete sentence. 3 months later, they were all writing essays. That is a substantial difference. And what I learned about leading with these students, and that I use now with international business teams, is informed by this one truth. Every one of us has a mission. Now, these are my kids. They all have missions, and you have a mission. And now when I say mission, what I mean is the intentional movement toward a vision. When you're on a mission, you are intentionally moving toward the thing that you want. And so that truth has informed a technique that I use to lead, and I call that technique Marry Missions. It's done in 3 steps. Step 1 is define. Define your mission. What is it that you want to do, to be, to create? Define your mission. My mission in my classroom was leading my students to literacy. My students weren't always on board. Step 2, discover. Every person around you has their own mission. Be with them. Give them the gift of helping them explain in words to you the thing that they want. Discover missions. Each of my students had unique missions that I was delighted to discover with them. Some missions like being a famous singer like Beyonce, or a pro footballer that can support his family. Missions like finding true love, which leads us, of course, to the 3rd step, marry. A marriage is a union of 2 separate and equally amazing individuals. So how do you marry missions? Well, as an example, in the case of one of my students, he had a mission to become a truck driver like his older brother. And I had a mission to teach him to write. We married those missions by writing a job application for driving school. Marrying missions is how I led 60 students through 1 year of academic progress in only 6 months. A decade later, many of my former students are first-generation college graduates. I've since taken this technique to companies around the world with clients in technology, in finance. One client wanted to tackle some new, tricky projects. Mission defined. One of the employees was feeling undervalued. A mission discovered. We were able to create a new title for that employee, one that showed everyone who knew him, showcased the accomplishments that the organization valued from him. And now that company is tackling projects with renewed creativity. The missions are married. This technique of marry missions is a key to achievement with friends, family, colleagues, clients. Want to achieve something great? Marry missions.